And our first guest is Jessica Watkins. She is a multi-published author, best-selling author. She started her own publishing company. Um, you might see some books that say Jessica Watkins Presents, and I believe those are her authors. That's how all of her books are presented by people other than herself. So, Jessica, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Hi, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And also, Jessica, you're going to be one of our featured authors for this year's National Black Book Festival in October. So people who
Yes.
want to meet you in person can meet you there.
hmm
So, and you have a new book out. But first of all, tell us about Jessica Watkins and how she started writing and how your career evolved into all these different things.
Well, I've always been writing as a hobby since I was really little. My mother said I used to tell her stories when I was 5 and ask her to write them down for me. So that was always like a hobby for me. Like I didn't play double dutch or go outside and like play. I always wrote books up until um I graduated from college, and then I attempted to self-publish my very first series, which was called Love, Sex, Lies. And then in 2013, I was signed to a independent publisher where I released Secrets of a Side Chick, and I released quite a few series under that publisher. And then I went independent in, I believe, 2016, and I've been independent ever since. I did sign a contract with Black Odyssey, and I released my first traditional release, I Love You Too Much, just a few weeks ago.
Yes. Mhm.
And yeah, I've been writing full time since 2015.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, and I released a film. I forgot to say.
Right.
Um,
And let's see, you're doing so many different things.
yeah, I produced
Mhm.
my first film in okay, it was before COVID. So it's 2019 when we filmed it. It didn't get released until about 2021. Right now it's on Tubi. It's based on my most popular title, Secrets of a Side Chick. Um,
Okay.
and then I have my Black Reading is Sexy line where I have mostly book totes. I'm a lover of handbags and books, so I combine both of them. And my logo, Black Reading is Sexy. So I have book totes as well as like this denim jacket that I have on and other apparel that I use just to promote myself and my work. And I also have the Chicago Urban Book Expo, which is an annual expo that I have every year here in Chicago in September, which has been growing every year. We're on our 11th year this year. And I also have I just
When do you sleep? That's
it doesn't feel like I'm doing all this stuff until I say it. But I also have the international
okay.
trip Book Lovers and Friends. This is the second year. The first year we went to Cancun, Mexico. This year we're going to Montego Bay, and next year we're going to Antigua. And that's just like a relaxation for authors and readers and friends and family just to get together. Like we always get together on these trips and network, and like the authors are always working and doing seminars and selling their books. So I just want to have something that we all just get together and fellowship and have a good time and relax. So that's what Book Lovers and Friends is.
Okay. So now I knew about the Chicago, was it the Urban Book Expo?
hmm
But I didn't know you were the person.
Oh
Are
yeah,
you the person who started it?
yes. I started it and I managed the Chicago Urban Book Expo. Yes.
Okay. See, I didn't know
Mhm.
who was behind it. So I
Mhm.
I see the ads and I see them mostly. I'm real friends with Quan. And
Okay.
so Quan, and I've known him a long time since he really
Mhm.
first started. So he always, generally, he's there. He may be there every year, but he advertises that he is there. And then other people I'm connected to on social media will advertise it.
Mhm.
So I've seen
Mhm.
the ads for a long time. but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who was the person behind it because you really never know. Because we put on the National Black Book Festival. My
Right.
husband and I started it. This is our
Okay.
19th year, but
Okay.
a lot of times people don't know who's behind stuff, and really, quite honestly, you don't. For me, I don't necessarily want them to focus on that. I
Right.
want them to focus on the overall event,
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily because I don't use it to promote myself.
Mm-hmm.
I in fact I never get to attend my own event really because I'm working. I'm working the whole time.
I honestly don't want to attend my event. One year I wanted to not attend, but every time I say I'm not going to, everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, I just want to be at the event and like just experience it from the
Yeah,
other side of the table. Like the
yeah.
entire expo, I'm selling books that I never get to like really walk around and see what's going on. So
Me either.
one
So
year.
I don't really, well, I do sell my books because I'm an author too, but I do
Mm,
sell my books, but not, we have a line of apparel too, but it's t-shirts mostly, and we
mhm,
have design. So, um, but so I'm managing the event. I
mhm,
have other managers that manage different aspects, but I
mhm.
like to stay in one place. So if there is a problem, they can find me.
Right.
So I end up not being able to attend, walk around and go to tables or pop into the seminars or panels or any of that. I don't. But maybe one year I will. Maybe this year, maybe I'll think about just doing one thing each time. Then I can condense it because there's no way I could, be at all the different places because there's a lot of moving parts.
It is.
So yeah. So does your event is it mostly like the urban fiction genre or is it multiples?
Well, we cater to all things Black books. So we have children's books, we have Christian books, we have interracial romance authors that come. Um,
Okay.
we just center around African American authors. It started as the Chicago Urban Book Expo because I did initially have mostly urban fiction authors, but we expand to all genres.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So one of our viewers said that you are a great host.
Oh, thank you. I try to be. I
Yeah.
try to be. I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah, she said that your team is amazing. This
Oh,
is
thank
Social
you.
Book Club. And then uh, Tony Bonita, who I don't know if she's been to your event, but she's an avid reader and book reviewer, and she told the audience to attend different book events to network because there's nothing like meeting the energy of meeting people who
Mm,
love books and write books and are all about books. There's a certain vibe to it, and
yeah,
it's not something you can get online. You
right.
can't. We have our show. We've had the show. This is our sixth year, and we started the show because of COVID. We couldn't have our event,
Oh,
and
okay.
then we kept the show. The show was such a success. We have just kept it going, and so it's a good enhancement to what we do. We're able to uh,
Mhm.
showcase new books that come out, new authors, established authors when they have a new release. We have book clubs on, we have uh, book reviewers, we have publishers, marketers, anybody in books, anybody in the industry.
Mhm.
So for your books, how many books have you personally under the name author Jessica Watkins? How many have you
I
done?
published like
Mhm.
I've never counted. It has to be hundreds. I've never counted. I should count one day. But yeah, I've been publishing since 2015. So yeah, it has to be hundreds at this point. As far as other authors under my company, it's probably hundreds. For me, I have about, yeah, I'll stop counting mine too. I think I have about 60 now on Amazon.
Okay. So
Yeah.
do you do you have a certain lane you stay in, a certain um thing that you're known for as far as what's your signature thing?
I'm known for urban romance. I'm known for I believe I'm becoming known for having a good villain. And
Okay.
yeah, but I'm most popular for my urban romance, urban fiction, and urban romance.
Okay. All right. And what's the setting for your books? Are they based in Chicago or are they different
All
places?
of them are based in Chicago. Even if they travel in the book, everybody lives in Chicago.
Oh, okay. All
I'm
right.
just not comfortable writing a book about anywhere else because I don't want to like lie. Like I don't want to like make something up about that city and not know what I'm talking about because readers are, even though this is fiction, readers are so specific. Like I wrote a
Damn.
book one time about some characters that were from Chicago, but they went to Freaknik in Atlanta. So this was like a throwback. So it was like 1996 or something, and it was supposed to be the last Freaknik. And I said they got on a yacht, and the readers on TikTok were like, a yacht? There's no ocean in Atlanta. And I'm like, wait a minute, my sister is the first lady of a church down there, and they go on a yacht every year for women's. So I have to like I have to research it. I'm like, wait a minute, am I tripping? I'm like, okay, Lake Lanier. There is a Lake Lanier. So I don't want to even like get into it with anybody else's city. Like even I wrote a book, The House in Virginia. I wrote it with this rapper. His name is Sue Surf. And that, okay, so I did write one book that was based in another city. And that was in Philly, I believe. But he had to tell me, I had to tell him, like, look, I need street names. I need the names of the neighborhoods. I need the name of like the projects. I need to know everything about this city because I can't say anything wrong. Because he had wrote a song that was like a story, kind of like R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet and he tells a story.
Hmm.
So Sue Surf, he wrote a story. He wrote a song, but it was a story, and he wanted it turned into a book. So I just took it and turned it into a book. But I had him like he needed to tell me everything about that area because readers are very specific, even though it's fiction. They
They
want
are.
a lot of truth in it.
They do. And sometimes they can be wrong. But um, I only have two novels. I have 15 books, but I only have two novels.
Mhm.
And I'm in Houston, and
Okay.
the setting is Houston because
Hmm.
I know Houston, I know the streets, I know, and it's the same thing. If I were to even when in a character in the book uh lived in like an outer suburb of Houston. And
Hmm.
I like Googled some outer suburbs that weren't too far, like maybe 70 miles out of the city. And I picked one. It was called Brookshire. And then when I was writing about the character, I said, well, shoot, I need to know something about Brookshire. Otherwise, I can't say anything about it. So I took one Saturday, my husband and I drove to Brookshire so I could just get it. It's a small town, but so I could get an idea about the streets and the atmosphere and all of that. So I wouldn't just be making stuff up. So I do understand what you're saying about that.
Hmm.
It's important to be authentic, especially when you're describing things and people and places and where they're going to be going and what's going to be happening and all of that.
Right. Right.
So, you've been your first book, your first personal book came out in which year?
The first book I
When you
self-published,
self-published? Hmm.
oh goodness, I think that was like 2010 or 9 or something. I only sold like 5 copies. It didn't sell a lot. I didn't know what I was doing. Like once Secrets of a Side Chick came out and that became popular, then I republished that initial series that I published, Love, Sex, Lies. I republished it because I was like, okay, now I know what I'm doing and everything. So it republished in 2015, but my first time publishing, I believe, was like 2009, 2010.
Okay, so this has been a while. You're getting close to 20 years.
I don't know. I feel old.
Yeah.
I feel like, I feel like old in the industry.
Well, you're established. Use
Yeah.
a word that doesn't. It doesn't have a negative connotation. And we need veterans. We need people. I've been in the book industry in wearing different hats for 25, 26, 27, 27 years. I had to
Okay.
count because we started as an online bookstore, Cush
Okay.
City, cushcity.com. And then we opened a brick and mortar store for 10 years. We were still selling online, but we had brick and mortar. People were coming in the front door. We were shipping out of the back door. So, and then we started the festival in 2007.
Okay.
So, but we got out of the retail business. We started doing more marketing and promotion and things like that. So when somebody is your what's the name of your publishing company that you
Jessica
publish
Watkins
under?
presents. Jessica
Oh, okay.
Watkins presents. Mhm.
So it is Jessica Watkins Presents. I didn't know if that was just the moniker that was on the books or if that was
Oh,
actually
that's the
the name.
company, yeah.
Okay. So how do you decide who you want to bring on under your wing?
Well, I actually don't publish other authors anymore. I stopped about 3 years, 2 to 3 years ago. I stopped. So, well, when I was writing, when I was publishing initially, I wanted to give voices to, new authors. It was really hard for me to break into the industry. I had submitted query letters to many, many publishing companies over the years and got denied or didn't hear back at all. And that was like very frustrating for me because I really wanted to be a published author like my entire life. That's all I wanted was to see my books on the bookshelves one day. So I wanted to give that opportunity to people um faster than it happened to me. So I really enjoyed working with new authors. I really enjoyed teaching them how to go off on their own. Like I hope that everybody who graduated from my company was able to, be independent or move on to bigger things. Um, I published urban fiction. So I was really looking for like urban fiction, urban romance. Interracial romance is what I started publishing initially, though. Even though I'm an urban fiction author, my best friend actually forced me to publish my first book under my company because she didn't want anybody else to publish. And I'm like, girl, I have my own publisher. I don't know what I'm doing. And she was like, no, you're going to publish my book. And I'm like, okay. So that's how I initially became a publisher. But right now I'm only focusing on my own work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you decide not to publish other people? Did you get burnt out? Did you was
Um,
just
I was burnt out and I felt a lot of it was very heavy for me if I released somebody's book and it didn't do what they wanted it to do. That responsibility was a lot for me and I needed a break from that. Yeah.
okay? I
Yeah.
can I can I can imagine. Oh, I've had people ask me to. I've done some ghostwriting, but I've had people ask me about doing other people's work, and I don't have the patience. To me,
Mhm.
that it takes a lot of patience to work with all the different people and all the different steps that you have to go through to get the finished product, or even telling people, this story isn't really, you know,
Right.
marketable. Just,
Right.
it's like stepping on somebody's dreams or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I just didn't want to do that. So I never got into that. I self-publish all my books, and
Mhm.
that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's been freeing the last 2 years, just focusing on my own work. It really fast. I mean, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Like the authors that I've published that are doing well right now, and I see them. I'm like, that's great for them. Like S.K. Leslie and Tiffany Patterson and Keita Kendrick and even like Sheree Lewis, Tatiana Timmons. Is that? Wait, I think it was the other girl. I can't think of her name. I'm sorry. But I
Mhm.
guess a couple of them that are doing like really well still. I'm like, that's great. And I'm happy that I was able to like be a part of the beginning of their careers. And like if I was to do it again, it would have to be with somebody who's like very dedicated because my specific genre is that industry is oversaturated. Like the urban fiction, urban romance, like that whole industry is oversaturated with titles and you have to do a lot of work to stand out amongst those readers to get the success that you want. Like if you only care about just having a published book and being able to say like, okay, my book is for sale, my work is out there, that's one thing. But if you want to be like successful, and a lot of people see other publishers and they're like, okay, I want to do this full time, or I want my own company one day. Like it takes a lot of work, a lot of rejection, a lot of negatives. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a marketer. You're not just an author. You have to be a
Right.
marketer. You got to be a graphic designer. You got to be a promoter. You got it's like you got to wear all kind of hats. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, or you have to pay somebody to do those, which is extra
Or pay
cost.
somebody to do it. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, it
Yeah.
has to be done. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So, yeah, I get it. I asked Kiki Swinton the same thing. Well, I
Mhm.
asked her, did she think she was on the show in, I want to say November, this past
Mhm.
November, and I asked her because I got the feeling that the urban fiction genre was oversaturated, and I
Mhm.
asked her that, and she said yes. And I don't. It's not a genre that I read. I read. To tell you the authors I have read in this genre, it's only two really. Quan, I read some of his work,
Mhm.
and Tracy Brown, who's
Mhm.
passed away. I read several of her books,
Mhm.
and but I just felt like uh, as a reader, my favorite genres are historical fiction and mystery thriller. Those, but
Mhm.
I felt like I was seeing the same theme, same cover, it was same plots. Uh, even the series were like, my side chick hates me, part one, my part two, three, and four. I just felt
Yeah.
like it was seeing the same themes, and I wondered for readers, was it getting repetitious? Like
Well, I
even the
think
covers look.
that the covers and the titles might seem a bit repetitive. And so that I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. Like when I initially started, like the books I published at first before I got the independent publisher, the ones that only sold like 5 copies, the Love Sex Lies series, those books were titled like Thou Shalt Not Keep Me Wondering, Love Drug, like very like cutesy African American romance
Mm,
contemporary titles. Nobody bought those books. Nobody touched them. But as soon as I released
okay.
Secrets of a Side Bitch, everybody was oh, and it went viral, and everybody was
Okay.
mad, and everybody talking about it on Twitter. So it's
Uh,
like,
okay.
so to the defense of our genre, like you have to. It seems like well back then you had to establish yourself first before you could throw out a something that's not so repetitive. I try not to be it's from a publisher standpoint as somebody who is making a living from this. Like this is how I pay my bills. Like a lot of people like, no, it's your art. Like, do it comes from the heart. But no, like if everybody is buying hamburgers, I'm gonna make a hamburger. I'm not gonna sell tacos. I'm gonna sell hamburgers. Like that's what you're supposed to do. But when I think you say you like more historical fiction, things like that. But a lot of urban romances, like once you get into them, a lot of them dive into um different topics that you really don't expect. Like a lot of people, like a lot of my books talk about mental illness and family trauma and different things like that. So
Okay.
even though they might be titled kind of far fetched, I think a lot of us have a lot of deep, heartfelt content inside the cover.
Okay. Well, it was, and it still sells.
Yeah.
Uh, it went when it first hit the scene, and that was when we had our store. That was during like 2006, 7, 8 in there when it first like took off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a new thing, kind of. Even though there were other street stories in the past, but they weren't considered urban fiction. It wasn't considered to be a genre per se. You
Okay.
know, it was
Yeah.
like an author would release, I'm just for the sake of example, Iceberg Slim and when his books
Mm-hmm.
were out. That was kind of like urban, but it wasn't called
Mm-hmm.
that. It was just his books, you know.
Mm-hmm. Or
Uh,
street lit. Yeah.
yeah, they didn't even call it that.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just his books, and they were very provocative, interesting. Um, I'm
Mm.
reading some of these comments. Uh, and she said, I cannot read the genre book after book, like urban fiction. She can't read like every book that she reads. She couldn't do that.
Oh,
But I
okay.
think, but she also said it depends on the author. So, everybody has their own style,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about telling stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we
Yeah.
only have like a minute or two left, but tell us about your new book and what it's about. And do you have a copy of it where you can show the cover?
Well, I think you're referring to "I Love You Too Much," which was my
Yeah,
traditional release that
yeah.
released a few weeks ago. It's available on basically everywhere books are sold. Black
Mm-hmm.
Odyssey released this book. It is a second chance romance with a lot of suspense. I have a character named Damar who is um he's a narcissistic character. He's very controlling of his wife. She is very submissive, very docile, but she is her heart belongs to her childhood sweetheart. But he was rough around the edges. Her parents were very religious and weren't in support of that relationship. So she went ahead and married Damar. She doesn't know all of the things he's doing in the background to be controlling, and he is having an affair with her best friend. So all of those things, those things come to the surface, and in attempts to keep his wife, he does a lot of outlandish things to keep her. So I can't say what he does, so I don't want to tell the story.
Right. You don't want to do a spoiler, but
Right, right.
mhm.
And at the same time, she is fighting these feelings that she has for her childhood best friend, who eventually does come to the rescue and saves her from her husband. So,
Okay. Second chance romance. Okay.
mhm.
Well, Jessica, we're at the end of our time, but thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I look forward to meeting you in person in October at the
So,
National
thank you
Black
for inviting me. Houston is
Book.
my favorite city, so I was so happy to get that invitation.
Oh, okay. Well, we are looking forward to you being here, and we'll have your books available, some your most recent books, and as well as some backlist titles um, available for sale and signing. And so we'll be in touch about that. But congratulations on all of your success in your career.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for having me.
Okay, you have a great night.
All right.
Okay, bye bye.